Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's Caleb. Just doing a quick little live stream. I am enjoying a nice fat tire beer and just kind of looking at the news, what's been going on. Obviously, you guys are aware we've got a little bit of a pandemic happening in the U.S., so I just wanted to kind of go over what the situation was out here in Colorado and just kind of point out some good channels to watch, some good resources, some things that you might want to be doing for fun or to kind of better yourself during this time. So anyway, if you haven't used it yet, I highly recommend the Johns Hopkins map that is kind of tracking all the cases. As I zoom out, you can see kind of everything on a bigger level. And I will leave a link to this map down in the description of this video once I'm done streaming. Looking in Colorado, we currently have 476 cases, 6 people have died, and the rest of them are active cases, so getting up towards 500. Not quite as bad as some of the other places, like Washington's almost at 2,000 at this point. California 1,600, and I think New York has 15, almost 16,000. So pretty serious situation. Governor Polis just spoke about the current situation and what they're going to be doing. They haven't put us on a whole shelter in place order yet. He was very adamant about stressing the need for us to do social distancing and really any non-essential travel to really just stay at home as much as possible. If you guys are in Colorado, colorado.gov/CDPHE, good resource generally. Can give you kind of a good overview about the virus, about symptoms. So definitely check that out. Read up on it. So at this point, yeah, they're really wanting us to kind of just stay at home as much as possible. I made one little trip over to Cabela's earlier today, and I actually purchased a small generator. Just in case, I'd like to be able to at least power our freezer and our fridge. I'm not necessarily worried about the power going off, but in case it does, I would hate to lose all the stuff in my freezer because there's some delicious steak in there. So yeah, Colorado.gov is a good one. I think Reddit.com. Pandemic Preps is a good subreddit to give you some ideas on stuff that you might want to be stocking up on. Some interesting posts in there. As far as YouTube channels, I've been using several. If you're not subscribed to Peak Prosperity, I highly recommend that you do that. I'm going to try not to play any of his videos because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright stuff. But I think Chris has been pretty spot on with all this so far, and I think he's giving a lot more info than that you're going to get on CNN or your other regular mainstream news. Another good news channel is Agenda Free TV. This gentleman's name is Steve, and he posts, he's got ongoing news coverage for hours on end. He's really just been covering the coronavirus news really the last month. And he kind of scours a bunch of different news sources so you can kind of get a little peek of information of what's happening in Colorado or Illinois or New York or California. So he kind of is a good all-around source of news to have. I think that's it as far as who I'm watching is in regard to YouTubers as far as the news goes. But I would definitely recommend you check those guys out. Since we're looking at being in our homes for an undetermined amount of time, I've got some book suggestions for you. The first one is When All Hell Breaks Loose. That's by Cody Lundin. If you know Cody Lundin, he was on Discovery Channel's Dual Survival. I think he teaches like primitive living skills and stuff. This book is really, really kind of more based for like urban and suburban situations, but it covers kind of having the right mindset during a disaster, a lot of mental like preparedness, that kind of stuff. And then the second half of the book goes into, okay, this is how you procure food, this is how you sanitize water, hygiene practices. There's some stuff about self-defense. So really well-written book, and it's written in a fun way. So it's not like all, it's not really dire, I guess is the way I would say. And it's got a lot of good information in it. Another book that's a little bit more fun is called The Art of Shinku. And this is like kind of partially comic book, partially survival guide, partially teaches you about like Eastern medicine and stretching and martial arts. Really cool book. It's a fun read, and it will keep you busy because just the way this guy wrote everything and laid it out it's just a fun book to have around. And it does teach you about a lot of different stuff. Some of it, I'm not sure how reliable the information is, but a lot of it is very reliable. So that's a good book to check out. I would also say, because we are entering into a medical situation here, it's very possible that your access to regular medicine and stuff might be disrupted or delayed. So I've got a couple of good books about herbalism, and one of them is, I believe it's called Back to Eden by Jethro Kloss. This was written probably like early 1900s, but basically gives you all the information you would ever need about herbal medicine, about what various herbs do and how they can help you. Super, super useful book. Old information, but it's just as valuable today as it was when he wrote this. And that's another thing I wanted to say during this time. Like, if you have the ability to start gardening, I definitely think that you should take advantage of that. Get some seeds, get started. Even if you're just doing some tomatoes on your patio, anything that we can do to grow our own food and try to become a little bit more self-reliant is going to help. It's going to help the system and the supply chains and everything else. And gardening takes up a lot of time. It's a good hobby, gets you exercise, and you get to eat something at the end of it, which is fun. So I've got a bunch of tomatoes and cabbage and beans and peas that I'm starting under some lights downstairs. So I'll probably do another video about that later. But just something to think about. And you can get, if you search Amazon for like survival seeds, you can get quite a bit of seeds for pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than if you were to just buy individual packets at Home Depot or Walmart. This pack's like $17. It's got 40 different varieties of vegetables. And usually what's nice about these kind of kits is they are heirloom, so you can actually reuse the seeds if you harvest the vegetable. So something to think about. If you're not into gardening, it's a good hobby to have. And, it'll, like I said, it'll take up some time. What else are we thinking about? Just things are going to be interesting here for the next couple of months for sure. And, I think we all need to come together while remaining socially distanced, I guess, and just try to get through all this together, because it is a weird time. I've never gone through anything in my life like this. I mean, I can think, 9/11 kind of had similar vibes, but I think I was only in 7th or 8th grade at that time, and obviously, that's not something where we all ended up locked in our houses, quarantining from each other. So, anyway, well, I hope this video helps. Definitely check out those channels on YouTube. Pick up some books and some stuff that will keep you busy over the time to come. Be good to each other. Make sure you guys take care of your friends and family. And be in touch with everybody. So thank you guys for watching this, and I'll pop on some new videos in a few minutes about my little garden that I'm starting, and we're gonna get through it together. So cheers to you guys, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.